What's up, everyone? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have an album review for you. So another one that came out on the 11th of February was the newest offering from Cult of Luna, The Long Road North. This comes out on Metal Blade Records. This band formed in 1998 in Sweden. This is their 8th full length, though they have a lot of live albums, compilations, there's some EPs too. I fucking love this band. I've been a fan of them, for quite a while. I actually had their last album, A Dawn to Fear, in my top 5 of 2019, and their last EP, The Raging River, in my favorite EPs of 2021. So needless to say, I was pretty excited about this.
He was excited. I was here. I listened to it with him.
Yep.
I could see the excitement drain from his face.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to be excited about initially, and then, this is one of those bands, once you listen to it, it's kind of a cold, empty, alone feeling, because this is some dreary post-metal.
Yes.
This is all about atmosphere, groove, hypnotic rhythms.
Trance-like rhythms. Dude. I mean, it several times I was just bobbing, like staring into space. Just
It's so easy to get lost in this band's work because they just kind of build this giant, lush soundscape, because fiercely layered, like synths, guitars, heavy bass, loads of percussion. There's even saxophones on this one, and like horn sections. There might have been strings on here too.
And I think there's an accordion in the Long Road. I think there's an accordion.
There might be an accordion.
Yeah.
And that's kind of post-metal. Post-metal loves to build giant soundscapes, and that is exactly what this album does. Opening track, Cold Burn. Believe me, I'm already used to it. I have watched that video multiple times.
The little dot in the tornadoes?
Yeah, I root for that little dot, and it makes it out every time.
There's big tornadoes.
Those tornadoes are
not fucking
fucked
around.
up.
Yeah.
But I think the overall feel of this album is that planet. Like, that is where this was recorded. It is cold. It is barren. That little dot is fucking booking. And
it is alone.
Yes.
So terribly alone.
Like, that is a definite feeling on this. But Cold Burn opening with this doom synth, like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. Like, this was like a fucking horn fired off from a fucking tower in a battlefield, like orcs or some bullshit.
Orcs.
The Dread Orc Flurbath. I don't know what his name is, but
Flurbath is a real son of a bitch.
Yeah,
watch out.
He's a
you
bastard.
Watch out for that Flurbath. I don't care what anybody tells you.
Yeah, no, he's dangerous. Real moody fucker. But this kind of starts off with these droning synths that sound like war horns, and then this pulsating, stomping rhythm, and its guitars slowly kind of sweep in there. And again, this is kind of where you get locked in on a groove, because it's really hard to escape this groove because it's fun. And I have to say, it's a lot of the drum work on here. They really do cool stuff. Like, post-metal's really not known for, like, flashy drums.
And it's not. It's really simple, but the stuff that they add, like, the things that they pepper in, like, hi-hat work. Like, and there's not even a lot of it, but it's just the accents placed are done nicely. It kind of helps with that heartbeat, like, pulse. And then all the snare drum rolls. There's a lot of snare drum rolls, and I really like that.
And it adds like another layer of atmosphere, as if this album really needed more atmosphere, but apparently it did, because they're there and they do add something. Like, you hear these like quiet little rolls occasionally, like you think maybe it's brushes. It could be brushes, but I think it might just be like ghost notes and just really interesting fills. This starts off like the evil, somber, dickhead kid of Neurosis and Killing Joke.
Pretty much.
And it just kind of rolls through, and again, the cool dynamics. Deconstructing the song, rebuilding it, adding layers, subtracting layers. Like, this is kind of the theme all throughout this album, and this opening track absolutely fucking kills. Like, it's probably one of the more high energy ones. There is a little bit more energy in songs like Blood Upon the Stone, and when you get to the more intense parts of the title track. But this one is just sort of their version of a barn burner, I guess. But trance-inducing, hypnotic, bookends that opening which they do a lot of cool bookending here. Like, they want to make sure if they have a cool melody or at least a dreary one.
Yeah,
because
very dreary.
Very dreary.
Ain't nothing happy here.
Nothing. Again, this was recorded on the fucking surface of Mars at night. Just the band. Well, actually, probably just one individual member recording their part and like, no, don't talk to anyone because it's pointless because there's no one there.
They dropped him off at like 4 different corners of Mars at night. No, not near anybody. No, that's it. All right, play your instrument, and we might be back to get you.
No radios, no fucking
Nothing.
Smoke signals.
Yep.
Fuck you, you're alone.
You can't even have water. You're just here.
Record your part, dickhead.
Now you get a 12-minute song on this.
It's not the only song over 10 minutes.
It's not. I will say, first off, it doesn't feel like 12 minutes.
Trance.
Yeah, like you're really in there. The beginning of that song sounds like a collection of tornado sirens.
Like, it's layered saxophones, I think? I don't know. Like, saxophone, I think it was like warm. Maybe a little sad, but kind of warm. Like, these don't feel warm. They don't feel inviting.
But this track cuts itself up kind of into sections. Like the first 2-3 minutes are without drums. I call them desert melodies. Just kind of feels like it's got a little bit of like a Western feel to it.
Not Western Sweden, like Western here.
I mean, it really goes on for quite some time. When the drums finally do kick in, again, it's not typical like drums kicking in and blast and fucking, it's just chill, and it goes on for till 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 6 minutes.
Yep.
Actually, a little bit before 6 minutes before you actually hear any vocals. And almost all the vocals are harsh, throat-ripping fucking screams. This dude is just spattering blood on the microphone.
And they don't last long. All the vocal parts in this song don't last long. He's on there for maybe 30 seconds in one part and maybe 30 seconds in another part. For the most time, it's just a trancey, spacey, hypnotic jam.
Well, his throat hurts.
It should, because he sounds very
Like he's
sad and hopeless and like he's pleading.
Yeah, no, he sounds like he's screaming in the fucking cold. Like, it's like -10 outside, and he's just screaming his guts out after smoking a pack of Cools. Like, it's that harsh and that throaty and very effective. Like, there's like a desperate sort of feel to it.
Just record your parts, dickhead.
But I'm dying,
So? What's your point? Do it. The song The Long Road North. First of all, the song before it, Full Moon, kind of builds into this song.
Excellently.
Yep, and this song really is all about tension building. Cool hi-hat work in here again, just an overall unwelcoming feel, but there's probably a good 2-3 minutes where they gradually build tension. And some things get louder and some things drop off, and it just gradually gets there, and then bam, there it is.
It's really cool to hear how they do that too. Like, sometimes it's abrupt. Like, sometimes this thing, whatever the sound is, whether it's guitar or a bass, will just drop out right there. Or sometimes it's like this, like with each measure, it drops back a little bit, and then something else comes up with each measure. And I don't know, I just think that's really clever songwriting. But I really enjoy the spacey synths that are on this too, and that kind of coupled with this almost desert rock sort of vibe in the beginning. But it's that bridge in the middle, that really cool long build. There's that electronic flutter of drums. It just kind of you can hear it slowly building, like a quickening pulse or something like that, and it's coming. And it's really cool to kind of just keep feeling it coming. And then when it does, it's fucking absolutely awesome. But I like that quickening pace, the more intensity, and that is done all over this album and done extraordinarily well. It
keeps it from getting boring because there's not a whole lot going on here, but the mood that's set, all the ambience, all the layers, all the everything, just it's a giant wall of sound. And to build on those little nuances, to either take them out or put them in, it keeps you entertained.
Yeah.
Whereas it might be boring to somebody else, it's very entertaining in that fact.
There might be 3 or 4 main riffs in these long songs, but it's how they're implemented and how they're taken away, put back in, or built on top of. And that's what really just kind of creates this giant atmosphere in here, because when there isn't instrumentation, there's droning background stuff. There's, again, the saxophones. The synths are absolutely lush as hell. The whole thing kind of comes together as like one of the most harsh, chill listens I've had this year.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be a sit back and smoke a joint, but don't get too far gone because you're going to go down a road.
It's a road north.
The road,
it's a long
you're gonna go,
road north.
Long. You're driving to like upstate Michigan.
And even when it comes down to, again, those more intense moments, it's not like the kind of like super heavy intense you kind of expect from a lot of metal. This is definitely metal because it's fucking heavy, but it's heavy in terms of the sound. It's also heavy in terms of just the dark, brooding emotion on here. And honestly, a lot of that comes through on some of the quieter, more isolated, exposed tracks. And this is kind of where like the dark, foreboding feel of this, like the depressing isolation, you can really feel it. Into the Night is definitely one of the softer tracks, though, again, heavy in emotion. Clean vocals, but they're very gruff. They're very, I don't know, worn out. Like, there's this whole sort of like giving up feel about it. Like, this is the last musician on Earth, and he's found a studio to record the last song ever, and it's not a happy song. It kind of feels like really heavy, sludgy Radiohead. It kind of has that Tom York sort of level of depression and anxiety.
I mean, have you ever heard the clean vocals in Uneven Structure? When it goes kind of quiet and it's got kind of like that calm, somber, almost like moaning singing. Like, that's what I was reminded of.
Or the opening track on Rivers and Now's last album, the whole I Let This Season Get to Me.
That's true.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. Like, it feels very exposed. I mean, there's layers in it, but it's much softer. And honestly, it doesn't get heavy until the last minute, which was kind of just like, well, I mean, that was cool. But, I mean, at this point, you could have kept it quiet and somber.
Now, nothing goes quite as somber as there's two tracks that bookend each other. The first one is called Beyond One, and it's fairly creepy melody, xylophone and keys and female vocals. Actually, I got reminded of like
Chelsea Wolfe.
Yeah,
something like that. Like, again, somber, dark,
and no drums, just kind of somber, dark vocals and melodies, and it's really creepy.
It sounds like wind hitting like wind chimes and like rain.
Yep.
I don't know. Like, again, there's a whole giant atmosphere to it.
But the last track, Beyond Two, and again, obviously another part here.
It's the sci-fi horror sequel.
Yeah, it sounds like alien sci-fi horror movie. And there's people moaning, and then whatever moans at the end, I'm not sure what that is. And if there's nothing on there, I'm not going to bed tonight. If you hear this and you don't hear some dude moaning at the end, then I quit.
Who says it was a dude?
I don't know what it was. There was something creepy moaning at the end, and nope.
I'm pretty sure it moaned your name. It said your name and like a time and a date.
I don't think it did. I don't
and like your address. And
I don't know
when it would be there.
Be there at 6, motherfucker. It was creepy. What a way to end a really dark, kind of creepy record anyway.
To make it even darker, and then, like, hey, we don't even need the guitars or the drums here. We'll just do like, well, it's not Tangerine Dream. It's more like Tangerine Nightmare. Very alien, I would say Blade Runner. I wanted to watch Blade Runner after that.
I still may watch Blade Runner when I go home.
John was just worried about being eaten by some nebulous dark creature probably sometime tonight because it definitely said his name.
I'm still worried. I'm locking the doors on the way home.
Oh, that'll stop it. That'll totally stop it.
I'll be on the turn. You
are going to survive.
I'll be on the turnpike, though, when I'm going home. I can do 90. No one knows the difference.
Wave bye-bye to John. It's coming for him.
It's not. I'll be here. You shut the fuck up. I'll be here.
But this whole album, and again, this is like one of those, like, you got to listen to the whole thing. And despite it being over an hour long, it's a real, like, just kind of easy listen.
It's 69 minutes. 69?
But it's chill. It builds really well. The longer songs especially, like, holy shit, they really dialed in some cool songwriting. And I don't know, this whole album has a very dark, foreboding sort of vibe to it, but I want to go back to it. And I don't know if that says a lot about me. I don't know. We're just dark, mopey fucks. But
Comes with the territory.
yeah, no, we listen to a lot of dark music.
Yep.
But I thoroughly enjoyed this. This was a very hypnotic jam. It didn't take me to a happy place, that's for damn sure. But
He's been a real son of a bitch since we listened to this.
yeah, I'm totally gonna murder you. No, wait, Nebulous Creature is gonna murder you tonight. I think that's what it said. But before John gives his last rating ever, because he's going to be devoured by some alien tonight, I want to throw out my rating, and I am going to give this 4.5 stars. I really dug this. Like, it's a hypnotic, dark journey. It's cold, it's isolated, but I really enjoyed it. And God, I just think these guys have really just locked in the sound over the past few albums. Like, it's just become something they get better at with each release. The production is absolutely amazing in terms of just capturing all those layers, and when it all comes together, it is a giant wall of sound that just attacks your senses. The songs are absolutely killer. I will be jamming Cold Burn a lot. That rhythm has been stuck in my head since the first time I heard it, and it was great hearing it again so it could get restuck in my head. But yeah, this is, again, not happy music at all, but I encourage you to jam it. Get lost in it. It's very easy to get lost in it, and then do it again after that. If you love shit like Neurosis, ISIS,
Russian
Circles, Burst, get this. You'll love it.
I'm going to give it a 4. Nick hit the nail on the head. You can get lost in it. Very quickly does this record invite you in and then shove you out onto the face of Mars by yourself.
No spacesuit.
No spacesuit. There's nothing going on. Like, it's really cool how they take almost nothing and make it into a lot of something. It's not like this is guitar heavy or drum heavy or really anything heavy except for sadness, dark, foreboding emotion, solitude. Overall, it was just an experience. The record as a whole. Not that I don't mind individual songs, but like, I think this record is best taken in as a whole.
It feels like there's a story.
Yeah, and the fact that you can get so lost in it and so entranced by it is really neat. And, you know, I've been a fan of these guys for a while too, so I kind of knew what I was getting into, but they really kind of outdid themselves once again just with the mood that's created here. Albeit dark, somber, and depressing, I enjoyed it too. I don't know what that says about me either, but...
It's all about burying emotions.
Yep.
All the good ones, though. Not any of the bad ones. The bad ones, you just kind of, yeah, those are fine now. The good ones get buried with this album, but it's fucking awesome. So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. If you'd like to help us out there, there'll be a link down below, and shirts. We're going to be making an announcement soon because we got them.
Yeah, we got them and they're badass.
And we want to do a giveaway with them. And we're kind of figuring out what we're going to do there. But again, we will be announcing that in a video coming up. And we cannot wait to get this video out there, show you guys the shirts, and do this giveaway, because we are on the precipice of 10,000 subscribers, which, yeah, dude, every time I say it. Like, and I say that shit a lot now.
I do too. I say it to, because I hand out business cards all the time. Like, no, check out Thralls a Minute. We're almost at 10,000 subs. And it blows my mind every time. I was just at dinner tonight with somebody, and she asked how I was doing, and I said, our YouTube channel has almost 10,000 subs. Really?
Yeah, we still haven't got, like, you know, people coming up to us like, hey, aren't you those fuckheads that made fun of Chris Barnes? It's like, wait, which time?
Well, luckily Chris Barnes makes it easy for everybody to troll him. I've seen a bunch of people do it, and do it really well.
He painted a target on each dreadlock left in a skull, which I think they're slowly revolting and leaving. Anyway, thank you all so damn much once again, and we will catch you later.